Welcome, everybody, to the Shut Your Mouth Lounge, episode number 171. I am Alex. Addie will not say anything, and Pink is also here. You did, but I know that you never actually speak when called upon. You only interrupt. For this time, Pink didn't speak when called upon, which is new for him. Well, God forbid you interrupt him. So, we gotta have content, and I care more about content than clarity of the audio, because fuck the clarity of the audio and fuck anyone who cares about it. Alright, soon. Pink, what have you been up to this, no, what have you recorded this past week? No, what are you going to put up on your channel this coming week? Fuck it. Just talk about whatever you want. Just talk about whatever you fucking feel like, because evidently, shit just ain't working over here. You work in a grocery store. Ah. If you worked there during the day, you'd probably just have to spend all day listening to the worst of Van Halen. Yo. The worst of Britney Spears? They don't play hip-hop in grocery stores, Eddie. What? Why? That's today, yeah. Oh, alright. Eddie! What have you got coming out on your channel this coming week? Alright. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And that's about it? Okay, on my channel, expect things to probably slow down for about the next 8 weeks. I'll probably put out a channel update video saying this because I assume that there are probably at least one or two people who watch the stuff on my channel and don't watch this stuff. But yeah, expect stuff to slow down. And God knows how many people there are that watch the FOS videos, but not the Shut Your Mouth Lounge. But expect stuff to slow down for the next 8 weeks, as I do have two condensed 8-week college courses I will be doing over the next 8 weeks, which means I am going to be busy as fuck because I'll be doing 16 weeks of classwork in the space of 8 weeks for 2 classes, as well as already the 2 classes that are 16-week courses that I've already been doing. So I'm going to be pretty busy in the coming weeks. What I will go ahead and, if I do record anything for this coming week, it's really difficult to say what it would be. It would probably just be a whatever I feel like in the moment sort of thing. And yeah, that's pretty much, I think, yeah, that pretty well sells it. All right. So, Pink, what you been up to this past week, man? Ah, yeah, they looked interesting to me. Soon thinks they're trash. Yeah. One of your favorite civs to plot dies. Eh. Oh, really? Yeah. A peaceful game instead of your very aggressive usual games. Navally. Just like real life. Yeah. Ooh. That's pretty fucking high for the medieval age, honestly. Well, can't you also get science from the barrier reefs? Yeah. Huh. All right. Yeah. I want to mention something. I'm curious if I'm remembering correctly. So Portugal has a unique improvement that they can only build in city-state coastal waters, right? Yeah. And the Feitoria provides massive bonuses to the people you plant down the territory in, right? S- Amazing. Yeah. Yeah, and you kind of have to do that to make sure that the other civs and city states aren't like, well, let me just trash that and replace it with something I like better. Oh, yeah, it's not. It's not like people are like just jumping for joy at getting their fisheries out, you know. Oh, excuse me. Anything else? Yeah. Huh. I, the idea of a more peaceful Mongolia it does sound interesting, but I can also see where it wouldn't really harmonize with the other Mongol benefits, you know? I wish I wasn't so damn busy so I could actually play the Civ 6 DLC content. Yeah. Yeah, I got in like fucking 20 turns into a Babylon game, and that's as far as I've gotten with the Civ 6 DLC content after you bought me it. That's it. And that Babylon game, I got fucked by horse barbarians, so I haven't tried out any of the wacky new game modes they've added because I feel like some of those wacky new game modes you should just turn them on for every game. Like the barbarians being able to turn into civs, that's cool. That's badass. The, yeah, some of them, yeah, you probably need to turn off like heroes. Zombies mode and apocalypse. Zombies mode and apocalypse mode both seem like they're just for laughs for one game, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that feeling of dread is certainly not great. I don't know what you could even do for strategy at that point. You know? Yeah. Well, you are Arabia. Arabia gets free religion, so hey. Didn't they add like in apocalypse mode, like there's a special unit type that causes natural disasters to happen? Jesus, he's not saying much soothe apparently. Ah, I see. Yeah, and if you settle next to a volcano and just keep setting that off as well. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, and and because it doesn't cause any damage, there's no reason to stop doing it. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, yeah. That I appreciate stupid shit like that. All right. Anything else? Ooh, all right. Hmm. Wait, is it just gonna be Zemo, or is it going to be actual Baron Zemo with the fucking Cobra Commander head wrap? Oh, that is a surprise. That's one of those. That's one of those kind of goofy comic book costumes I figured they'd never do. Honestly. Oh. Yeah, I guess I should have figured that. It's the original. Yeah, no, the just vaguely generic evils emo instead of specific Nazi evils emo. All right, anything else about that series? Because I haven't heard too much yet. Are they are they just now whipping out all the classic Captain America villains? Oh, oh, wait, are they actually gonna go back and talk about the Black Captain America? Oh shit! So that's canon to the MCU now. There's there's no way they're introducing there's no way they're introducing the Bradleys and Kate Bishop without doing Young Avengers. All right, shit. Oh, didn't want. Okay, I know this is spoilers for WandaVision, but didn't Wanda and Vision have their kids? So like they were in the comics. I feel like I feel like they could just introduce Hulkling in Captain Marvel too, because they could. Captain Marvel 2 could be about the other Captain Marvels, and like we see Phyla-Vell, Genus Vell, oh, how am I forgetting her name? The Captain Marvel, the woman who was Captain Marvel in Secret Wars, Monica Rambeau. Thank you. And Hulkling would fit perfectly into that group, even though he wouldn't want to be Captain Marvel. That doesn't change the fact that he is, you know. Though I guess it would change things now. They'd have to make the scroll into a scroll prince instead of a scroll princess, wouldn't they? Yeah. And boy, in hindsight, Marvel did get some action. That's how many kids? 3? Jesus, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I have to imagine that in situations like these, so many kids running around Carol, it's like, oh, it's like he never left. Um, alright. Anything else to say about Winter Soldier and the Falcon, or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or the Winter Falcon and the Soldier? Alright. Oh my god. They add iron to his diet. What? No, hang on, I didn't hear what you said. What? Dead cow skull fuck. Okay. Oh, necrophilia. I see, I see. I get it now. It's a necrophilia joke. Anyways, on a better note, anything else? Literally anything else? Damn it. So, Addie, do you have anything to talk about that isn't necrophilia? Please do. Oh, you're right. Son of a bitch. Anyways, what's coming out on the channel this week? Let's see. On Sunday, unusually, tomorrow, Terraria Part 17, New Doof City. On March 29th, Monday, the day immediately afterwards, Smite Part 3. And on Friday, April 2nd, we have got Guilty Gear XX Action Core Plus R Part 3. There we go. That's what's coming out on this channel. On the channel this week. Alright, now Addy, say what you were gonna do this week. What you did that last week. Whatever, fuck it. Same thing. Whatever. Fuck you. Ah! Eh. Okay. How did you feel about the Smite? Ooh. Yeah. Oh my god, people. Yeah. I'm going to dive on the enemy team, and if I die, it is your fault. Oh, I'm referring to the previous guys. I just had delayed reaction speed, you know. Yeah. 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 Sounds like, yeah. I wonder why I don't play solo. Yeah. What about Terraria? Why would you be grinding off screen? Oh my god, you're trying to power into the hard mode. Okay. Jesus Christ, we could have just done that together, you know. All right. All right. Ah, okay. I was thinking about like going to another world and just getting the minerals from that other world so we can have all the minerals because we didn't get orichalcum or any of those weirdo minerals. But I just oh, orichalcum is a hard mode ore, right? Then what's the alt? Because we got copper, silver, gold, and platinum. I think or copper, iron, silver, and platinum. Yeah. So our world didn't get gold or tin. No, wait, we didn't get copper. We got tin. So we missed out on copper and gold and a couple other minerals. Well, I was considering going out and getting those, but I decided against it. Ah, I see. We'll all be Midas soon enough. I mean, admittedly, with all three of us together, it's gonna be a bit easier. Yeah, we're just gonna have to have a plan. Arthur. Ha! I have no idea. You were the one that played with it, not me. Yeah. Anything else? What's that? Lycanthropy? Okay. Yeah. No, I wasn't gonna say anything. I wasn't gonna say anything. I don't get it, but okay. 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 Yeah. 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 Yes, it is. Yeah. All right. And on my end, let's see. So, let me go ahead and check the PS5 because that's probably the best way of checking. So, this week, a lot of time into Dead by Daylight because Mike's been positively addicted to that game, and so we recorded it quite a bit. Yeah, that game's still alright. I'm not hugely into it, but it's fun every now and then. Uh, Outside of that, though, what I have done, I haven't had a whole lot of free time this week, and what free time I have had has been trying to wrap up this week of schoolwork. But for the free time I did have, I put a bit of time into Red Dead 2, and I tried to play through one mission stealthily, and that was a interesting ordeal because it's do you remember, Addy, the mission where John has his first heist where he wants to steal a train? And so he's like, yeah, so he's like, okay, go get me like an oil tank coach, right? And you have to break into one of the Cornwall places and get it. And it's done through free roam. It's actually a mission where it's kind of like in GTA 5 when they'd ask you to go get a vehicle ahead of time. Like, it's not a mission. It's just, while you're out free roaming, try and get this while you're out, right? Yeah, so trying to stealth through an open world free roam thing, yeah, it's just randomly generated where all the enemies are, which makes it kind of a crapshoot. Yeah, but eventually I was able to get to it. With that said, I figured out Deadeye with throwing knives is hilarious, because the throwing knives are ordinarily a fairly difficult weapon to use because they have an arc and you have to charge up the throw. Deadeye ignores both those mechanics. You just pick an X marks the spot on an enemy, then hit the button, and Arthur will perfectly place the throw, even if they're moving. His he will like fucking throw at. He'll lead the throw so perfectly that he'll still nail the shot perfectly. So I got one. Oh no, you go ahead. Oh, no, it's not. Deadeye is Deadeye is on R3, I believe. I don't know if it's possible either. RB is cover by default. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, if you were good enough with Deadeye, yeah, you don't need cover. Yeah, pretty well. Well, no, it's not Big Iron. It's high noon. There are several times in this game where I've run into like a pack of 6 enemies, like when the O'Driscolls try to ambush you while you're out free roaming. And it's just like, oh, Deadeye, and it's fucking Ghost of Tsushima showdown, right? You just kill every enemy in the encounter, holster your gun, and then the bodies drop. But yeah, the Deadeye made that stealth encounter particularly hilarious because I wound up getting lucky enough that there was just one guy watching the oil coach eventually, and he was watching it from on high, like way up a set of stairs and everything, and way a distance away. But I just dead-eyed it, and Arthur perfectly fucking Peyton Manning the knife into the guy's skull. And the game was like, karma go down, because you don't know if that guy was a bad guy or not. And I'm just like, you know what? The throwing knife kill was rewarding enough, I don't care. Besides, Arthur's supposed to be a douchebag in the first chapter of the game. Yeah. That game is. I have to say, the more time I spend with that game, the more I start to associate it and Ghost of Tsushima, and it's partly just because like Cowboys and Samurai have always been kind of associated, largely thanks to Kurosawa and Sergio Leone adapting westerns into samurai flicks and samurai flicks into westerns. But you know. And I did notice a specific theme. There is a general feeling to the plot of Ghost of Tsushima that's very different, very similar to the feeling of the plot of Red Dead Redemption 2, which is kind of a sense of, you can save what you can, but you can't save everything, right? Yeah, that is actually pretty accurate. Yeah, yeah. Shimura was just like, We just need more samurai, Jin. We just gotta go to the mainland. Yeah. God, I hate Como Driscoll. I mean, the Mongols. Oh, come on. Comb Con. Oh. Boy, I hope that our actions do not catch up to us with Leviticus Cornwall. I mean, the Shogun. Uh, anyways. Yeah, Red Dead 2, good game. The other stuff that I did on PS5 this week, let's see. I did pick up Demon Souls. I have not got to put much time into it, but my god, that game is fucking gorgeous. It is pretty well the only game so far that's really been made for this current gen, and it shows. It is incredible to look at. With that said, it's very funny to go back and play, like, Demon Souls came before Dark Souls 1, and Dark Souls 1 was honestly pretty fucking slow. Even Dark Souls 2 is a little faster than it. And it's weird to go back to that after having spent a long time playing Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3, which are both super fast games. And Demon Souls, it's like, yeah, if you throw out more than 2 attacks, then you've overcommitted and you're going to get your shit pushed in. It's just so weird. And there's some stuff they just didn't fully know what they were doing yet. So the starting equipment setup I chose is all just such heavy equipment that I'm just slow rolling, or fat rolling as people call it. And it's like, okay, can't wait until I get a set of armor that's lighter than this. That's true, but that takes a while. And the money rolls in pretty slowly in Demon Souls comparative to the other Souls games. Though I don't know what I'm doing yet, so I've been just going into the Archstones and being like, is this where I'm supposed to go? Then I just get fucked by the first enemy I find, and it's like, no, it's not. Yeah. Not yet. There is a place that looks kind of like Anor Londo, though. Yeah. Okay. So what that was Dark Souls 3 takes place largely in the same world Dark Souls 1 did, but like thousands of years later. And as you are going out and about, you'll see locations from Dark Souls 1 that have turned ancient and overgrown. And as the super best friends were playing through it, every time they got to a place that it looked even vaguely like a castle or a city, Pat would go, "Is this Anor Londo?" Until they finally got to a place, you go up an elevator and suddenly text just appears on screen, Anor Londo. And so, yeah, for the others, it was like, yep, okay, Pat, you should have not been wandering that because the game was going to tell you anyways. Yeah. Is this the Undead Parish? Oh, that's Blighttown. God, thankfully Blighttown. Blighttown's one of the only locations that didn't come back for Dark Souls 3. Oh, man. And the great thing is, Anor Londo's like the only one that hasn't been modified in any way. It's the exact same place it was in Dark Souls 1. Uh, what was I going to say? Yeah, Demon Souls is pretty good. Haven't got to put too much time into it. And also, PlayStation Now just went up on sale for $1 yesterday, so I went ahead and grabbed it just for fucks. And I went ahead and downloaded Ultra Street Fighter 4 and Day 2K19 because I was getting the feeling to start a CAW universe again, and my Xbox is, well, it's not even really my Xbox. The Xbox is effectively just returned to its original owner, I guess, so I can't play the CAW universe I set up on Xbox. So I'm just quickly trying to set up one on PlayStation. I've actually been making characters during this podcast. And I have not got to actually play it, and honestly, with WWE games, playing it is not the fun part. I did play through arcade mode in Street Fighter 4 with Zangief, just a good old time's sake. And it cracks me up every time how Street Fighter 4's AI is just very wildly between, like, oh, you're going against Rose. She's pretty well not playing. Versus the Guile AI, oh, he's perfectly spacing everything and knows what you're going to do before you do it. Yeah. Yeah. One thing I will say, I noticed that, so playing against Seth is ordinarily a bit of a problem for Geef, because Seth will just do sonic booms and dulcim stretches. But I noticed that Seth, when he gets close, is always trying to go for Zangief's pile driver himself. Which does not really work against Geef, because, again, Seth's pile driver is just a shittier version of Geef's pile driver. So I just grabbed him anytime he started to come in range, because technically speaking, Geef's pile driver has a longer range. So I just kept catching him with that. There is so much in Street Fighter 4 of just like it being easy street for grapplers with the AI. Because I'm just playing like against DiCapri, and she's trying to get in and be so aggressive, the AI is. And against Zangief, it's like, so you have chosen death. And on PC, what did I play this week? Let me just go ahead and check. Oh, no, I do not want to open Total War Warhammer 2. No. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I actually did apparently a bit more than I thought on PC. I haven't put time into Hades. I want to, but, you know, time is not infinite. If I had a hyperbolic time chamber, you know? So I picked up Ravenfield while it was on sale. Ravenfield is a one-man indie project. Basically, it's one guy who decided that it was fun playing against the AI in Call of Duty and Battlefield, but for one thing, that has kind of gone by the wayside with modern FPSs that focus more and more on online multiplayer. But also, there was, you know, it could be expanded, right? So Ravenfield is all about, there's a bunch of maps that he just included by default in the game, bunch of guns that he just included by default in the game. It's all about just playing Battlefield against the AI. There's not even online multiplayer. You can't play online multiplayer if you want to. But it's Battlefield-style maps that are huge, and while the default amount of AIs in the game is 40, there is no limit. Legitimately, you can put in any number as long as your computer's processor can handle it. I have not experimented to see how far my processor can go, but I want to when I get the free time to. It is a... Yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's a pretty good feeling shooter, surprisingly enough. It's got ragdoll physics, but thankfully it's got like totally accurate battlegrounds, or totally accurate battle simulator style ragdoll physics, but toned down a lot so your character isn't just flipping and flopping all over the place every time he takes 3 steps too fast, which is nice. Feels really good. It's got a great modding community. It's got the Steam Workshop, and the guys on the Steam Workshop have implemented a lot of fun stuff. Just the two that I dicked around with were one where I just downloaded a bunch of Warhammer mods, and that was a lot of fun, even though the Warhammer mods themselves were really poorly made, so the guns all sounded the same. They were absurdly loud and had really lazy reload animations, but I had fun anyways. And I also downloaded just a shitload of melee weapon mods, and also like player models to turn one team into Japanese Ashigaru and then the other team into like English knights. And sadly, you cannot remake Chivalry because it's one of those cases where it's an FPS, but all the melee weapons have the same attack range, which doesn't work. And there's no blocking, so... Melee weapons, sadly, yeah. Like, I don't know how hard it is to implement that sort of thing in an FPS, but it seems like it'd be relatively simple. Then again, I don't understand game development, so it's probably actually harder than I think. Especially if there's not actual coding to allow the modders to implement blocking or melee weapon ranges, you know? Which there may not be. Let's see. Obviously, I put time in Terraria, but that was with you guys, and that's and recorded in a video. I am really wanting to get around. I'm conflicted because I want to finally finish a Total War Warhammer 2 campaign before development wraps on it and Warhammer 3 launches. At the same time, I feel like maybe I should hold off on finishing any campaigns until Warhammer 3, because Warhammer 3 is going to add a lot of things that are going to make campaigns more fun. And I do want to just start a new campaign with some of the races that I haven't played in a long time. So, I'll do whatever I do with that, I guess. Pretty soon my hand's going to be forced, because whenever they do the Beastman update, that's probably going to invalidate all returning save files. Whenever they do the Beastman update, God knows when. Creative Assembly also just abruptly out of nowhere announced that on April 29th they're releasing Total War Rome Remastered, which they have not ever remastered an old Total War game before. This is the first time they've ever done this. Technically speaking, it's not them, it's Feral Interactive, the guys who have done their mobile ports and the Mac and Linux ports. But it looks very, very, very good. It's the classic Rome 1 unit balance and campaign balance, mixed with a lot of new Total War features, like much better controls, and the game not running like complete ass on a PC made after 2010. And the units actually look pretty great. It's weird, though, to look at them, because the original Rome 1 units, for one thing, they were all kind of like late PS1 N64 looking dudes, right? There was hundreds of them, so you didn't mind that much, but if you individually looked at them, they looked like late N64 PS1 dudes, which is a bit weird, because the modern Total Wars look super HD, even though there's thousands of dudes on screen at once. Well, Rome Remastered is going back and making all the units, like, have actual proper HD models that aren't just fucking polygon men. Like, actual proper models. Like, the helmet is separate from the head, my god. The skirt is not morphed into the legs. And it looks really good so far, which I'm happy with. Because Total War Rome 2 went for, I guess, kind of realistic. I don't know if it was actually realistic designs for the models, which means that there are a couple cool looking units in Rome 2. You know, like the legionaries wearing, like, the segmented armor. Those look cool. Or like Spartan hoplites, they look cool. But most of the units in Rome 2 look really fucking lame. Most of the Gauls and most of the Germans and most of, you know, the northern barbarians in general just look like dudes wearing pants and shirts covered in shit. The Hastati, the Roman Hastati, are just dudes wearing shirts with brass plates just like on string, hanging around their neck. Just a small, like 5-inch by 5-inch brass plate hanging vaguely in front of their heart. And their helmet is pretty well just a brass pot they've put on their head and mounted a single feather, or maybe 2 feathers if they're extra rich, in the top. Yes. Like, let me go ahead and grab a picture just so I can show you how fucking lame they were. Total War Rome 2 Hastati. And let me get this picture here. Okay. No, that's Principes. Okay, do we have any good pictures of the Hastati, please? These'll work. Okay, so let me go ahead. It's not exactly the Hastati, whatever. It's close enough. So this is what the Hastati, the most basic Roman unit, looked like in Rome 2. And it's not exactly the most exciting unit designs or character designs, is it? Ignore the guy with the beer belly. And ignore good old Vulpes and Colta over there. Okay, let me grab a picture of Total War Rome 1 Hastati, who look a lot more exciting. Hang on, let's get a good picture here. Well, this will work. This will work. These guys look way cooler. Behold. Way better. And let me see, has someone already uploaded a picture of the Rome 1 remastered Hastati? I don't think they would have because it just got revealed like yesterday or the day before. And anyways, they look quite good. And I like that. Even though the realism does go to the wayside. And there's, most of the time, I don't think people should really mind that much because some stuff Total War just fantasizes even in their most realistic games. I will say there is the one classic dumb thing Rome 1 did, which is going to be coming back for the remaster, which is, it's supposed to be Ptolemaic Egypt, and yet, for some reason, they all look like proper, like, fucking Old Kingdom Egypt. So it's, you know, Greek Egypt, but they're all wearing, like, the super makeup and the headdresses and everything, and their primary means of warfare are chariots instead of hoplites, but, you know. Yeah, I agree. Like, the thing is, for this time period, we're not skint for Greek factions in this time period. You know, we've already got like 4 fucking post-Alexandrian Greek empires running around. We don't need another one. I think here we can make this concession for fun's sake. And I'm actually really excited for that, because I'm not into Rome 2, because, like I said, I do not like the unit designs, and Rome 1 has much more interesting, actual proper designs. And I'm interested to see how a very old-style Total War gameplay balance and structure will work with modern Total War conveniences and controls. And the last thing I've put some time into this week, I have put about, well, probably 4 hours into Age of Empires 2 this past week. I've been really enjoying it. It's been a nice game, like in all the chaos of what's going on in my life right now. It's really nice to just sit down with Age of Empires 2, put in a quick hour game against the AI, and then walk away. Yeah. And I'm learning about the game. It's nice learning things and getting, to get better at things. Age of Empires 2 is very interesting because it's not it's before StarCraft really took over the RTS scene. So your old APM situation does not really matter as much as it would for other RTSs. If you want to get things done, you probably want to be pretty active about ordering new units and so on. But there's a lot of downtime in Age of Empires 2 where you're probably going to be planning ahead, because especially when the game starts. Age of Empires... Pink, did you put any time into Age of Empires 2? So yeah, when the game starts off, those first 2 ages are super slow, aren't they? Like, it's... that's kind of when the game begins, basically. So the first 2 ages, so far, of the matches I've played, there are a couple factions, a couple empires. They're supposed to be okay at rushing, but this is not a Zerg rush game. Generally speaking, you aren't going to have the economic power to Zerg rush for a good while. Which is actually kind of comforting, honestly, because that's always a fear in RTSs, right? Like, the Huns maybe can do a bit of Zerg rushing, but I mean, that's what would you expect of the Huns? Of course they'd be the good Zerg rush faction. But for the most part, everyone's early game is going to center on find the sheep, kill the sheep. If you have the balls to go for it, pull the the boars closer to your town center, kill them. Find where the berry bushes are, get those done, and then work on farms, all while setting up your own lumber industry because you need lumber to maintain farms. And it took me a couple of games to get used to that structure, but now that I have, it's a lot of fun to get it going properly. And Age of Empires 2 basically seems to work out in such a way that the early game, most of the time, is going to work out just about the same in every game. But once you get into that third era, that is when suddenly every game is different. And you can't predict how things are going to go down. Because things will differ depending on your opponent, what map setup you're on, how much of the trees your villagers have managed to cut down, where you've put down your houses and your farms. And one thing I found really interesting in Age of Empires 2 is that, like with a lot of RTSs, I don't know about you guys, but I cluster my buildings together a lot, right? Which in some games is not necessarily the smart plan, like Dawn of War. I probably shouldn't do that because artillery exists. But in Age of Empires, you want to really spread your buildings out everywhere, including houses and farms, because, Pink, did you ever notice the town watch technology you could build at the town center? One of the technologies you can build at your main building starting the second era is Town Watch, that massively expands your vision cones coming out of all buildings. So what you want to do is just start planting houses and farms down all over the map so that you can see the entire map. And you need houses so you can build units, unless you're playing the Huns. The Huns, one of the special things for the Huns is that they don't need houses at all. The Mongols do, though, which is weird. And yeah, it's interesting. Like, that's another interesting thing is the faction differences, the empire differences. Because when you first play, you don't notice, but there are a couple factions that have big changes, like the aforementioned, like Huns don't need to build houses, sort of thing. And there are some factions where like it's super obvious. Like I've played as the Chinese and the Byzantines, and they are pretty well just like the jacks of trades for them. The Chinese are a bit weird because they start with no food and extra people, so you need to get working on food production pretty well immediately because they just don't have anything to build anything. Whereas the Byzantines are pretty well the usual stuff. And Chinese and Byzantines are mostly just like, oh, you have stronger buildings, so you can turtle that much harder. The Byzantines are, you get units for cheaper, so just spam a lot more. But the British, who I played this most recent game, are entirely different because virtually everything they have, they get one thing that's like, oh, shepherds work faster, so you can get through the early stages of retrieving meat from, your sheep a lot quicker, which is, that's nice. You get through the early game a little bit quicker. But every other thing they have for their faction is +1 range for archers, +1 strength for archers, minus 20% cost for archers. So for the English, you are just spamming archers constantly, which makes your defensive game pretty brutal because you just set up walls, put archers behind them, and oh no, the opponent just can't do anything now. Because every time they even get a whiff of your cities, like they just get filled with arrows. They get pincushioned super hard. It's a lot of fun. I like that a lot. That was very different to play. And I like that Age of Empires actually has pretty well a turtle victory condition, which is if you plant down a wonder, then from there on, the opponent has 10 minutes or 12 minutes that if they do not kill the wonder in that meantime, they lose. So for the turtle empires like the Byzantines, Chinese, and English, there is an actual victory condition of turtling, of fuck you, come get me. I like a lot of the victory conditions in this. Because they've also got, of course, the classic just destroy any buildings that can build units. They've got classic regicide mode where you spawn with a king and if he dies you lose. And they've got, I think, a victory mode where there are 6 or 7 religious relics spawned all over the map. Monks can go and pick them up and carry them and deposit them into their churches and chapels. And if you own the majority of the relics, then it starts a victory countdown timer as well, just like if you had built the wonder. And even if you don't have that victory condition on, relics, if they are in one of your churches or chapels, print money anyway, so you want to grab them anyways. That game's a lot of fun. I feel like sitting down and playing with one of the weirder empires sometime soon, like the Aztecs seem super weird, so that could be a lot of fun. And what else? What do I want to say about it? Oh, if it went on sale, I'd love to get it for Addy so the three of us could play it. Uh, you may already own it. Is that what you said? Heh. I think they gave away Age of Wonders for free at some point. Yeah, yeah. What else did I want to say about it? Oh, one thing I found really weird, playing against the AI will actually surrender if it thinks that it's getting its ass kicked too bad. Yeah, the game I played is the Byzantines. I was like, oh, you know what? I don't see which target I should go for next. I guess I'll just start hunting down their civilians. And I killed so many of the villagers that the AI just surrendered. Another game I was playing against the Ethiopians, and they built like a shitload of ports. So I wrecked all their ports, and I guess they invested so much in their navy, they surrendered there as well. That was weird. No! Oh, one thing that's really weird about the game is that there is a little chat menu system. The game has a kind of equivalent of what's the damn system in Smite that you use to chat? It has almost kind of a VGS system where you enter numbers. Like if you put in the number 30, if you just chat 30, the game will instantly play a certain voice clip. But rather than actual commands, like there's a few that are supposed to be used for teammate communication, but the most of them, I love it, are just stupid taunts. And the moment I figured out what number you enter to get it to go wololo, I just start spamming that. Ah, ah. Well, someday Age of Empires 2 may come to a home near you. Alright. Was there anything else that I did this week? I don't believe there was. Alright. So, that being the extent of what I did this week, I believe we can... What was that? KS. I feel like I kind of look like Carl here from Aqua Teen. Hey, hey, Addy, man, we gonna play some fucking games or something or what? It's the sunglasses and the little mustache, little kind of oh, what's the thing that's on the bottom lip? Michael Cole always had it. Soul patch. Yeah, it's the mustache soul patch combo, because that always is associated with Harada as well. Well, I may look like Matt and Pat in the face there, but at least I've got more hair than either of them put together. Yeah. Not as much as Wooly. I don't have as much hair as Wooly, but I'm better than Matt and Pat, so I got that. That's true. Not anymore. He actually trimmed his dreadlocks. Now they're just about like chin length, which is weird to see. And he parted them in the middle. He parts them in the middle now. I don't like that. Ha! Yeah, it's they're not great at commentary. I don't dislike them, but they're not great at commentary. No, Little V is good. Little V is good. Reggie and Min aren't very good at commentary. Little V is very good at commentary. M- Min's definitely got a better Min's got a better sense of humor, but I find his accent kind of awkward. Whereas Reggie's accent, I'm pretty used to. I'll watch the get into fighting game stuff, but that's almost always just Wooly and Reggie, you know. There's something grating about Min's voice to me. There's kind of like a certain nasal quality to it that it bugs me. Yeah. Ah. Yeah. Oh, I'm listening to Spotify right now. Apparently, who is Ignis Lamar? And anyways, while I'm listening to Spotify, I need to go take a gigantic dump. So, yeah. All right. Uh, yeah, but I guess we could call that a podcast, but we've already said bye. Ah!